I'm so pissed. You want to know why? Because I should have went before Greg Birch. I'm feeling very inadequate right now. You guys think I'm kidding? I had something to say, but
This is Joe.
anyways, so the other thing, the reason I say that, once again, Joe Miller, Joe Holtby, me from Southern California, that's me. I will confess that some of you in here are scared of earthquakes, right? Are some of you scared of earthquakes? Don't even be scared of earthquakes, because last night the sirens went off on my phone, on my alarm system, and on my TV at the same time. Me and my wife were both prior military. We hit the deck and we're like, incoming!
Oh my God.
Seriously, we're like, what is about to happen right now? And so we all slept like together, huddled up. I'm family with my wife. And like,
Welcome to Texas.
And we're like, that never happened before in California, like ever. It didn't happen, right? So for all of you to be here, I guess that's normal.
Yes. It's springtime.
I sent a text to you.
I've been through a hurricane.
Oh, well, it's springtime. This is normal.
Earthquake in Vegas.
All of you are here, and so I'm really impressed that you're all here, okay? Because one of the things, my topic today, which I don't have any notes, so it doesn't matter, is psychology of the sale. Psychology of the sale. So if you haven't been on YouTube and seen Sean Mike's hour
Yeah, that's a good one.
Psychology of the sale, and he did that when
In the beginning.
first got started. That was our we marched to that drum beat when the company first got started.
in the boot
I
camp.
didn't get started when it first launched, and none of you would have wanted to get started back then. Some of you would think, oh, I missed the opportunity, right? But that's not true. Back then we had paper contracts, we had paper applications. Now contracting is done through Assurance Bay, and some of you probably still complain about that. 40-page contracts, you fax something, they're like, we didn't get page 40. You know, you're like, okay, send the whole thing back. But the biggest thing I can tell you is it's what's between your ears that matters. Some of you after Greg spoke, or while he was speaking, was like, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. This guy's an animal. You have to do that to be successful here. And I'm living proof that that's not true. Right? My background was in the military. So I wasn't supposed to do insurance. I wasn't supposed to do insurance, right? At least that's what I thought when I got started, or before I got started, the guy that told me I should do insurance, I told him no. I said, hell no. I said, no way in hell. I was going to say something no. And so he said, I'll buy you a beer. And I said, okay, I'll go. But make it two, right? Make it two. And so, you know, I looked at this and I said, I don't know. I don't want to talk to my friends, family, and neighbors. I don't want to recruit anybody. I just didn't want to deal with that at all. And some of you here who are honest with yourself are thinking the same thing. Or maybe we're all perfect. You could all be perfect. This is a good crowd in here. Okay? And I know the day's coming to an end and we've still got some really good speakers, so make sure you're taking notes. And here's the thing, you don't have to take everything from everybody. Just take one thing, one nugget from each person who spoke today. And here, don't just take it, but apply it in your business. Apply it in your business. And if you use it and you like it and it works, keep doing it. If you use it and you didn't like it and it didn't work, don't use it. It's that simple. That's the beauty of this business. There's so many people having success here that you can learn from. That's what makes Family First Life different. A lot of the other companies, they want you to think they're special. Sean Mike, number one thing, that in order to speak, if you speak and you say you're special and that's how you got there, you will never speak again. You will never speak again. Like, physically. No, I'm just kidding. But the whole point of this is, we're not special. I'm not special, right? I got started doing this part-time, working from home. My wife was making all the money. She was a sugar mama. I was a stay-at-home house husband, raising a 6-month-old. And I just needed to talk to another adult, right? It was a sanity play. It was a sanity play. I got started in insurance because I needed some sanity. And so I went out 2 days a week, part-time, selling insurance, right? And I didn't even think about selling insurance. I just wanted to go talk to another adult, right? How many of you have kids? That's way harder than this. Way harder than this, okay? So you just gotta go talk to another person and actually be genuinely interested in them and care about them. and you'll make money. You'll make money by default as a byproduct of caring about others. But some of you are like, I'm not good at sales. I was
You're
a
not
cop
selling.
in the military. Okay, that's sales, but it usually had a consequence, right? It was like, do what I say, or, right? This is different. So I had no business making money in insurance. So when I tell you I'm here by default, it's literally because of the system at Family First Life. If you do all the things that people told you from the front of the room, don't listen to people that are out in the hallway, unless it's someone that was speaking, or say, how much did you issue? You've heard that before, or how much your team do? Then you can listen to them. But if not, get what's being given here. Okay, just remember one thing from each person. But the one thing I was going to tell you that really made the most sense is we're all weird people. We're all weird, just get over it. The best thing about this business is it's the people business. That's the best thing. The worst thing about this business is it's the people business. Right? So if you don't like people genuinely, you won't make money here, you won't be successful. So if that's a problem for you, you need to do some soul searching and really decide I want to care about others, and you'll make money. Okay? It's very simple. I learned that very quickly because if you use this, if you're very analytical, and some of you are staring at me right now, and I can tell you're analytical because I'm totally not, as you can tell from my unprepared speech. I'm not analytical at all. I just go with what I feel, right? And so, man, there's so much I got to tell you. So much that I could cram in this from 7 years of experience in this business. 7 years. Now, when I say I have no business selling, I'm a Millionaire Club member. That means I've sold on my own pen over $1 million of insurance. So I know what I'm talking about. But we don't talk about that very often in Family First Life anymore because we had 3 people last year doing $1 million in 1 year. Right? So it's kind of a moot point. Like, yeah, you did it and stuff. It's okay. You know what I mean? So that was something I was like, man, I'm close. And then when I crossed it, we're like, oh, we forgot to put out the memo, right? I was like, but can I say this? Here's the biggest thing. You need to be bold. Be bold. The stuff that you're telling yourself in your head is usually wrong. It's a lie. Right? You have to reprogram your mind in order to do this because most folks do not want to call a stranger on a phone. They don't want to spend money to make money. Right? These are all conditions. You've been programmed to do all these things. You've been programmed, not to do these things. Right? You've been taught to go to school, get good grades, go out and get a good job. How's that working out for you? How's that working out for folks in America? Right? This is the best time ever to do this business. You work for yourself. You care about others. You can work as hard as you want for yourself around your schedule. Right? Think about it. Last year I made more money than I've ever made in my life, and it was in 2020, and I was in, of course, 21 minus 4 is 20. Gotcha. So last year was in California. California shut down hard. It wasn't like Texas. It shut down hard. So we were going against the grain, right? To go out there. So the people that, guess what, cared about others and went out there and put other people first, they made money. All the posers, all the people that didn't care about folks, they stayed home and they tried to recalibrate, refigure out what they were going to do in the insurance business. Right? And that's why Family First Life as a company ate their lunch, took their leads, took their resources, and took their agents. Mm-hmm. Right? Just saying, hey, this is a big place. This room we should double, triple, quadruple the size in here. Okay, so the opportunity at Family First Life is huge. Just take advantage of it. And some of you are still thinking like, I already said there's weird people. You either have 2 things you're thinking right now. You're like, I'm going to kill this because those stupid people are making all that money. That's what you're thinking. Or you're fearful and you're afraid. And you're like, I can't do that. I can't talk to people in the room. I'm scared. I can't call anybody. And all you have a phone, so I know you can call people. But those are the things that you're telling yourself. I would prefer you're a little more even keel, so you don't think you're the business, or you don't think you're terrible. You just got to be even keel with this business, and you'll make a lot of money. That was the one thing. Well, I'd like to say I was even keel, but Trey Honeycutt, that was. I've known him for 12 years. He's got like 12 years now, and he knows that I was like, I sold something, and then got a chargeback. I recruited somebody, and then they quit. Right? Don't do that. That's a waste of your emotional capital. Don't do that. Be even keel. Be like, hey, some will, some won't. Who's next? Right? Don't hurt that. Don't hurt that. Right? And so one of the things that I'll leave you with, is scripture, and I'm not preaching to anybody, but Romans 12:2 is be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So if you don't have the result you want right now, it's because you got the wrong mindset. You need to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So get rid of your old programming that you've been telling yourself about. I'm not, this, I'm not that, I'm not good at sales, I'm not good at this, all those negative programs, get rid of them and start listening to the podcast. That's the one thing, that's another reason why Family First Life is going to dominate. Because if you really go out there and look at insurance content on the web, we're all over it. People's lunch. Family First Life is everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere. So absorb that content, reprogram what you're stinking thinking, right? Because that's the only thing holding you back, is the way that you think about the opportunity, about your own, your own skill set, your own desires, those things. It's the programming. So I always go back to that because anytime I'm having, I'm gonna probably have to read some scripture after listening to Greg. It's that thinking. You got to always reprogram yourself. Those of you in here that think you're good, that's also. How many of you have written a book? Okay, good enough. How many of you are brand new? Another good one. This is awesome. I'm sorry that exposure to me is your first time. But anyway, so the thing that I'll say is listen to the folks that are having the results that you want. Right? Some of you will take what you learned here or what you heard here, and you'll go and you'll run it through a filter of someone who's broke, someone who has the things that you don't want. Right? That's what you'll do. And you'll ask for their opinion. Why do that? Don't do that. Take what you learned here and go apply it and see what happens. I challenge you to see what happens. You can't fail. It's very simple. We like to overcomplicate it. I do. I like to overcomplicate it because then it can kind of hide maybe my insecurities of not achieving my goals. Right? What do? We pick up the phone. We call people we don't know. For some of you, it's really hard to buy leads because you've never been told to buy leads. You've never been told to spend money to make money. Everybody who's rich in society spent money first and then reap the harvest. Right? When we've been told go to a job, ask for a job. Right? That's not going to do you any good in today's environment, today's economy. Right? I'm going to leave you with this. So, when you're running this through your filters of an opportunity or sale or anything to make income, to make money, right? You have your active income. I'm sure if you had 200 grand more money in your bank account right now, some of you would be looking at me with a bigger smile on your face. Right? Think about it. If there's more zeros in your account, like not the first one, I'm talking about at the end. Okay. Some people are like, I got zeros. Yeah, I know. But at the end, a number and then zeros. Right? So that's active income. That's you going out and doing something. Then you have royalty income. So how many of you are rock stars, movie stars, musicians? That's royalty income. That's when you do something once and you get paid over and over and over and over again. Right? So we have that. That's our second form of income. So we have active as much as you want. Passive or royalty income is number 2. And then number 3, we have leveraged income. What's the difference between Bill Gates and you? Still has 24 hours in a day, right? Doesn't he? So why does he make more money than you? He has more leverage in his life. People or money at work on your behalf while you're doing something else. So the first recorded billionaire, we're going to talk oil for a minute, this is Texas. J. Paul Getty, right? First recorded billionaire. He said, I'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 than 100% of my own effort. Why is that? Because guess what? If I get sick, die, or I don't do it no more, my income stops. But if I have other people doing the deal for themselves and I die, my income continues for my family. We have active income, royalty, renewals, then we have leveraged income, right? And the fourth income here is you can be part of the club. I'm calling it part of the club. Integrity, right? Integrity. Those of you who know about integrity. I wasn't raised to have, an Ivy League education, right? Education I would rather say, instead of I am smart, I is a millionaire. Whatever. Right? That's what I would call it. Or MBA. I don't have an MBA. I have an MBA, and they're like, really? Where'd you go to school? I was like, massive bank account, baby. That's it. Right?
Long
So then you're right? You get to be a part of the who's who. You know, hedge fund money, you know, private equity money. That's the end game. You don't want to sell insurance forever.